Hey, sweetheart. Happy Thursday. How are you? Um, I just wanted to jump on for a quick second to just tell you what God put in my spirit, right? So I'm not going to hold you for long, I don't think. You know me and my not longs, right? So I don't plan on holding you for long, but I just wanted to drop in to tell you what God placed in my spirit. And it was something so sweet. It was so special. So I just wanted to share it with you and maybe it'll bless you. So I'm on a 3-day fast, along with a lot of other people. It's a lot of people that's in a fast right now. And so I'm no different. I'm in a fast. And today is day 3. So, but the first day of my fast, and this fast, FYI, it wasn't about me needing anything. It was really about God giving me clarity, giving me instructions, giving me what He wanted me to know. So that's what my focus was in this season was, God, what do you want me to know? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to proceed? Just giving me instructions, giving me, insight, revelations, instructions. That's what I was looking for. So it wasn't about I'm fasting for, a particular thing that I really want or need or anything like that. I wasn't fasting about money. I wasn't fasting about, jobs or anything. I was just fasting about what do you want me to know, right? And so the first day of my fast, it was just so funny, right? How it happened. You gotta know me. So the first day of my fast, which was Tuesday, God gave me a really special word. And I thought I made a video. I think I made a video. But the first day, God led me to Joshua, and I read Joshua 1-4. And after that, it really tied in with James 4. And the whole point around it all was about being strong and of good courage. And notice how in Joshua, they kept saying it over and over again. God kept saying it over and over again, like, okay, I'm going to tell you again. Didn't I tell you to be strong? So he just kept saying, it was just like this big. And then again, he led me to James 4. And again, it was about being strong of good courage. So, in prayer, it was just, the Spirit was just telling me how, where God was taking us. We need to be strong and of good courage. And we can't shrink. We can't, feel like, we don't belong or whatever and let people run us out of somewhere. We got to be strong and of good courage. And so I was just so excited about that word on Tuesday, day 1 of my fast. And so yesterday was day 2. And again, I went to the Lord and said, you know what, God, what do you want me to know? What is it? My heart is open and receptive. My mind is open and receptive. Just, lead me. And He led me to, before I went there, He showed me the name Bathsheba. I know what you're thinking. But He showed me the name Bathsheba. And so I said, okay, God, that's interesting. Because we all know the story of Bathsheba. Who doesn't know about Bathsheba and David, Uriah's wife? Because they always refer to her as Uriah's wife, right? And so I went to 2 Samuel chapter 11. And that's where the story began. And so I'm going to read just a little bit of it for you to understand where I'm going with this, right? And so, anyway, this is Second Samuel chapter 11, and I'm starting with verse 1, and I'm only going to read verse 1 and 2. So, basically, in 11, 1 and 2, it says, "And it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab, his servants, with him and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. And David tarried still at Jerusalem," verse 2. "And it came to pass in an eveningtude that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon." I'm going to read 3. "And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?" Okay, stop there, right? And I read the whole story, but this was just 11, 1 through 3. So remember, this was after, this was a war and all this other good stuff, and David was in the palace, and he was sitting on his bed, and he decided to go out on the rooftop. Who knows? He could have been thinking about something. He needed some air. So he go out there with one of his servants, right? And as he's sitting out there, just thinking, he had some good vision, because he spotted Bathsheba taking a bath. She washed. And he was like, she was very beautiful to look at. And then he inquired about her. So he was like, "Hey, who is that over there? Look, you see what I see? Who is that?" Right? And the servant answered him and told him who she was. Okay, now fast forward. Let's go back. After I read the story, and I was like, "Okay, God, like, what do you want me to know?" And then it's like the Holy Spirit said, "Ruth." So he took me to Ruth chapter 2, right? And in Ruth chapter 2, we're going to fast forward, and I'm not going to read Ruth chapter 2. I'm just going to give you the gist of it, and then you can read it on your own time. Anyway, remember Ruth, the daughter-in-law of Naomi, and anyway, everybody died. Everybody's husband died, their sons died, everything happened, right? They died. And it was a famine in the land, so it was basically like Naomi was like, "Well, then I'm going back to my hometown," right? Now, Naomi had 2 daughter-in-laws. One decided, "You can go, I'm going to go back home. You can go." So they split ways, but Ruth stayed with Naomi and went to her hometown. And so she's like, "I'm going to take care of you wherever you go. You can't get rid of me later. I married into your family. We connected now forever." Right? So they went back to Naomi's homeland and, set up a house, and everything was fine. So Naomi saw this great field, and Ruth saw this field, and she was like, "Okay, let me ask these work. Can I glean after them?" She didn't go and steal. She did ask. And they was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So she begins to glean, every day, going, I guess, and just picking up whatever leftovers that, the reapers, had left behind, or whatever, had dropped or whatever. And one day Boaz comes back from a meeting, whatever. He comes back and he's greeting his servants, the reapers, and he's like, hey, how y'all doing, right? And so they're like, good, how you doing? How was the meeting? And they just talking and everything, right? And so as they talking, Boaz saw Ruth and he inquired about her. See where I'm going with this? So he was like, hey, who is that over there? Who is that? And I was like, yeah, that's, Ruth, that's Naomi's, people, but she asked us, could she do that? So she, so how the rest of the story goes. And now, even though you might feel like the Bathsheba story was not the best story because, we know that David, kind of committed, he committed adultery. Not only did he commit adultery, he knocked her up. And because he knocked her up, then, he's like, Uriah, come home. Come home, sleep with her so he can make it seem like it's your kid. But Uriah didn't want to sleep with her. He's like, how can I do this? And this war is going on and he didn't want to do it. So anyway, David was like, yo, have him killed. So we know that wasn't the best story, but at the end of the day, he ended up marrying Bathsheba. And at the end of the day, Boaz ended up marrying Ruth. And the whole point was the men that inquired about these ladies were rulers. They were rich men, they were rulers, and they inquired about the ones that they married. They ended up marrying the ones that they inquired about, the ones that they saw from afar. Didn't know who these people was, but just knew, who is that? And then it began. And God showed me, like, as it was with them, it'll be with you. So as you're doing your everyday, you ain't got to be looking fly every day. You ain't got, because look at Ruth was in the field sweating, gleaning, honey. And old girl was in the shower cleaning herself. Like, you know what? She wasn't trying to be cute and fancy. Who in the shower trying to be cute? You just trying to watch. Everybody was just, being themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't worried about where all the good men at. They wasn't worried about what everybody else was doing, who they was dating, the types they was dating, and trying to be anything else. They was just trying to survive. They was living. They was just doing what they do. And they were noticed. And your husband is going to notice you. And he's going to inquire about you. So don't worry about what everybody else doing, what the world is looking like, and how everybody, what they want. And so we ain't worried about them because we're not trying to get them. You know what I mean? But the one that God has for you is going to notice you and inquire about you. Okay? And it's going to be somebody that, I've said it before, you didn't even have on your radar. You didn't even know existed. Or you didn't even think about trying to, like, impress them or look at them. You know what I'm saying? You just doing your thing. When you look at Ruth wasn't trying to impress nobody. She was trying to eat, but she wasn't trying to, I hate to say take no handouts because she really was, but it wasn't like she was going begging. She'd rather work for it. I'll glean it myself. Just let me, you know what I'm saying? And again, Bathsheba, she was just chilling, waiting on her husband to come home. Like she was just, You know what I mean? She wouldn't worry about nothing. So the way God showed me, like, these women were just being themselves. They were working. They were doing whatever it was. They were like, you know, minding their own business. You know what I mean? They was like taking care of themselves. They wasn't worried about, you know, the latest fad and what was going on. They just weren't worried about that. It was just doing them, right? And they were noticed. They were noticed. And not only were they noticed, but they were attracted to them. And just imagine outside working in the field sweating and somebody attracted to that. You know what? And I can't imagine it being in the military for so long. I mean, you know, we've been in some rough spots, man, and I ain't wake up looking like this. So, you know, I got my hair pulled back, sweating and running and doing just, and, it happens. So, don't think that you gotta, look like everybody else and be like everybody else. I remember an old church mother of mine when I was back in Texas said, "You gonna meet your man while you're working." She always told me that. She said, "Keep working. You gonna meet your man while you're working." And I was like, "That's true. I always meet guys at work. I always do. While I'm working. It's true." But she was telling me something different, and now I know. Now I get it. I get what she was saying. So continue to work. Continue to wait. Continue to be strong and of good courage. Because your blessings, I mean all of your blessings, God ain't going to see in one. You're going to be in overflow. And overflow really means multiple blessings. You know that? It's multiple stuff that God's going to... So you're going to live in overflow and stuff. So you're going to live in overflow in love. Overflow in, financially. Overflow with your family. You're going to... all areas of your life, your health is going to be in overflow. You're going to get, good reports on your health and all that stuff. You're going to be in overflow. So I'm excited for what God is going to do in my life, and I'm definitely excited about what He's going to do in yours. So be strong and of good courage. And as always, I love you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.